Hey guys, I'll get started in a second. Someone just let me know that you hear me. You guys can see my screen, all that good stuff. Hey, can someone let me know you all hear me? Once I get that, I can get going. Screen resolution's good, all that good stuff. Would be appreciated. Morning, team. Can y'all hear me? Hey, in the comments, can someone let me know that you hear me? Would appreciate that. Weird. We here. All right. Thanks, Daniel. I'll get going in a second. Just give me. I'm sending out a quick email. Here we go. YouTube right now discussing plus review of the current swing environment. Don't worry if you can't make it live, you can always watch the replay on YouTube as well. Almost ready, guys. Bear with me. All right, cool. Hey, does the screen look all right? Let me know the screen looks all right. We're in 1080. At least that's what I'm showing. So I just want to make sure it looks good to you guys. Anybody? Anybody? Looks good, tight. Let's go. Yeah, I hear you, North. I'm running a little late and got my coffee syrup today, so it just threw me off my game a little bit. Um, all right. Having said that, we'll get into it. All right. So, right, market trend model. Saw short-term weakness yesterday, right? Kind of called that out in the pre-market out. Saw a little bit of a topping, a little bit of extension from the railroad tracks, or not the railroad tracks, longer-term moving average driven. So this kind of point in time today and tomorrow where we're going to gather a lot of good information. Kind of an obvious statement is we either resume this uptrend higher, we start to see a signature like we got over here where, the cumulative tick is strong, moving higher. We're seeing filtered ticks come into the upside. Early this morning, we're seeing a little bit of filtered ticks, so that's good to see. We want to see a continuation higher, but keep in mind that the bullish signal that we derived from this model is still on. And what that means is that our mechanical strategies are still looking for long entries, right? When those signals fire, we are taking those long entries. Even though yesterday was a tough day, that doesn't mean, right, that, overall from a longer term point of view, like the market is still constructed to the upside, according to our momentum model here. Just quickly hitting on those swing strategies, right? We have the P2P strategy, which is P transit plus GEX. And right, guys, it's the first time viewing us. Like, I'm sure this terminology is going to sound super weird, but I don't know what else to say except that's just how we talk, the acronyms we've come up. But, if you go to our website, GamEdge.us, GamEdge Fast Pass free courses, it walks you through everything, all the tools we're about to talk about. So feel free to give that a go. But yeah, looking at our scans, right? So the valid entries at the open this morning, or you can do them now too if you're doing the P Transit Plus GEX portfolio, is Costco, Chevron, Lilly, and those stocks that we're closing out of, if they're in your portfolio, I don't think they're in our live portfolio, is Microsoft. And right, our portfolio is fully allocated, all that good stuff. So yeah, we're not taking any positions right now. We're kind of just sitting pat. Obviously taking a little bit of heat right now, but that's expected, right? All the back testing, all the drawdowns, all that good stuff, very transparent about that. So right, just part of trading is, being able to go through a drawdown, but trusting the back testing, right? Trusting the system. We have the wheel strategy. Wheel strategy, right? That's nothing new in terms of, just a basic kind of options income strategy, but we put the game edge twist on it where we look for call dominated stocks. We are looking for institutional momentum, the Minervini trend template. Again, on our blog, GameEdge.us, we walk through this exact strategy, have a dedicated article to it. So you'll take away from that is you'll know exactly what to do. Same thing with the P2P strategy. Just keep in mind the wheel strategy. We are working to get this automated, so it's just a normal scan like we have everything else. That's just going to take probably a week or two more development, then we should have that done. Other things to note. This is just, I know this is probably a lot of data, But the key thing to know right now is just looking in this column and this column, there's a lot of red. What that red means is that a lot of conditions have shifted from call dominated to put dominated. So that is, not ideal, right? If we look at the right-hand plane action, which means above spot price, what that means, right, is that call speculation has gone away to the upside. It's now dominated by puts. Same thing, left-hand plane. When you see red, that means that the in-the-money calls are giving way to out-of-the-money puts. So don't need to get lost in everything here. Just kind of the key takeaway right now is that there's just a lot of red popping off here. So which is not surprising given the action that we did see yesterday. So it's going to be important today to see if we get a recovery day or not, right? Because, overall globally still call dominated when we're looking at the SPX structures that we will get to in a second. Something I just want to call out. Another thing, looking at the kind of Mag 7 larger components of the market that I like to track, a lot of them are to the right of the y-axis. What that means is that they are below their transition zones. So that's not ideal. Ideally, bullish stocks are above their transition zones, progressing up to plus GEX. So just something else that we want to monitor there as well. Intraday basis, see if these can reclaim their P-trans levels. Then right, just some other scatter plots here, just a lot of, other different stocks. If you're looking to get bullish or getting long stocks into this weakness, this gives you a pretty good list. Same thing with put dominated stocks. And then, we have our bullish bearish watch list that I produce. So that's kind of that. Happy to go over in more detail to the extent you guys want to. Let me just finish rest of the pre-market prep real quick. What are you doing? Yeah, so looking at the AM complex, we can see the transition zone is quite wide. We are in actually I'm looking at yesterday's. Sorry, I was looking at yesterday's and I was like, this does not look right. Let me get to today's. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, looking at the AM complex, right? Very wide transition zone. We're right in the middle of that 6,700, obviously kind of a key level. So not a ton to say here right now. Next net GEX, which is kind of a fulcrum you can look at between kind of call and put dominated environment overall, is kind of near zero. So not a large impulse one way or another. Really not just a ton to glean from this aside from just telling us that, right, conditions are wishy-washy for lack of a better term. Other thing we want to note here is this is specifically looking at the November expiration. So the second order Greeks are not necessarily having a massive impact on the structure right now. Yep, same thing. So just back and forth. Looking at the SPX full complex structure, obviously the transition zones, DEX transition zone from 67.25 down to 66.90. So we're right smack dab in the middle of the transition zone right now. I think we're trading at 67.20. So we're trying to progress higher. Obviously 66.90 key level to the downside. So if we do see a reversal, that's going to be kind of the first key level to understand if we lose or not. Infinite Dream, you can go to our website, gameedge.us, and sign up. It's not a free Discord, but you get a free 2-week trial. So keep going. Right. So just the takeaway here, right, is, overall SPX full complex structure, market trend model combination, obviously a weak day yesterday, but there's still a chance to recovery. So all is not lost, right? Still in an uptrend price wise, all that good stuff. So, market trend models looking constructive right now. So today could easily look like yesterday in the opposite, but in the opposite fashion, which obviously we would be saying, okay, great. Moving on to 0DT. So looking at 0DT right now, very balanced structure looking at the net GEX. It's basically at zero, which means parity between call and put speculation in the complex. Starting with the transition zone, right, our key jumping to the other range is 67.10, 67 or 66.85. So those are the two key pillars. We're above 67.10 right now, so that is constructive to the upside for the bulls. thing to keep in mind is, the kind of next checkpoint above 67.10 is 67.40. And within that zone, we can see, looking at the distribution of speculation, it's quite low. So that's just kind of a low volume pocket in the structure where it's very easy to go back and forth. So just wanted to be cognizant there. This could, kind of more or less be kind of a choppy range where we would still be, leaning sideways to higher, but there could be some chop in here. So just want to be cognizant of that. And then above 67.40, 67.50, obviously kind of the first target. That's plus GEX on the day. So that's kind of the strike with the most short-term speculation in the 0DT complex. And then, we go through a lot of other potential, long, short iterations. I'm not going to go through all that here. You guys can read and kind of, draw your own conclusions from that. And then right to the downside, 66.85 is kind of that first key level. And then 66.75 is negative GEX on the session. So that's going to be another very important level for the bears and the bulls if we get down there. Right now, we're cranking 67.20 almost. So certainly a nice kind of recovery so far today. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm just going to this chat right now. I don't really see a ton. No shorts for me until below 6,700. Yeah, that probably makes sense. TradingView script. So I need to upload that. I haven't uploaded it yet for the day. Bam. Cool. What I also need to do is I need to do that. I need to open up, I need to import those watch lists I was talking about earlier today. Let me import those. If you guys got any single stocks you want to go through, let me know. Happy to go through those structures as well. Right, because keep in mind, we're above the transition zones now. Market trend model is recovering, still technically bullish on a long-term basis. So we should be looking for, moves to the upside. Just kind of want to be, kind of just dipping a toe in the water, so to speak. Look at Tesla. Yeah, sure. Tesla. Yeah, certainly, wow. This is probably an earnings reaction if I were to guess. So down 5% on the day, up on an intraday basis. Sorry, I didn't even look at the level. Yeah, look, I found support right at COTMP. Not crazy to see that. Right, COTMP, that's just the level where out of the money puts starts to go in the money in the majority. So that's a kind of a key monetization level. We, a lot of times, especially on individual equities on intraday basis, see, a bounce, at least one bounce from that level. So it makes a lot of sense for seeing that there. Let me type in Tesla. Yeah, so Tesla, it's well below transition zone right now, 60 or 43, 432.50, top of the transition zone. So really from a bullish point of view, we want to get back up to that, kind of exactly what the script is showing. So it's pretty good outline for you right there. Wouldn't really touch it right now. It's hanging out, negative gas level. Obviously got crushed yesterday, but not crushed, but just a little bit of adverse earnings reaction that it's recovering from right now. So let's see if we can get back above 432.50. IWM, nice recovery today, above zero GEX, good to see. Neo. AMD, it's It's got earnings. AMD's got earnings next week. I think the 4th is next week. No, 2 weeks. I mean, it's holding right at P-Trans 0 Gex, kind of exactly what you want to see, to be honest with you. So that's good. Good to see there. Bank of America, remaining strong here, held right at 0 Gex in the pre-market, breaking above P-Trans right now, exactly what you want to see there. United Healthcare, a little bit of weakness. Good Salesforce. Hey, buddy. I think NVIDIA's got earnings. NVIDIA doesn't have earnings for a while. I mean, NVIDIA is holding above its P-Trans level. Emerging markets. What is this? Brazil. Oh. All these stocks aren't that great. I'm just looking at the names on this bullish watch list, and it's not a lot of great names, to be honest. Google's got earnings in a couple days, trying to get held 0 Gex in the pre-market, trying to get back above P-Trans. That's going to be a key level. Amazon, right, looks fine above P-Trans, has earnings coming up. Apple, earnings coming up. Palantir, wall up yesterday, holding 0 Gex right now, trying to get above P-Trans. So you guys get the idea, right? Like 0 Gex and P-Trans, critical levels, we oftentimes see like a lot of good support on an intraday basis. Microsoft looks fine. Held up relatively well yesterday. That was good to see. Obviously, earnings. Meta, strong move. Earnings, though. Wow. XOM with a strong move today. JPM looks like trash right now. Visa, just massive chop fest. Lilly, trying to form a higher low there. Guess we don't have those levels in this. Oh, yeah, trying to get above P-Trans right now. That looks good. It's got earnings coming up next week. Costco's, whatever. Hood's trying to recover, see if kind of found support right at COZMP level. Right at its 50-day, all that good stuff. Coinbase, whatever, doesn't look that great. Uber, trying to go above 0 Gex. Not that great a structure right now. Looking at Square, above 0 Gex or below 0 Gex. So, not a ton of great looking stocks out there right now. Intel's what, earnings today? Yeah, today after the close. Cool. It's far from its P-Trans level, but close that weirdo. XLF, right? That's bearish. It's on the bear list right now. So put dominated structure, kind of momentum to the downside. MSTR looks like absolute garbage right now. KRE regional banks, Verizon, AT&T looks like garbage. Netflix got crushed on earnings, so got to get selling off more. Then you got Carvana, you got United, Reddit, Texas Instruments. So all these stocks are pretty bad too. So, all right, cool. I feel like I'm rambling at this point. Not sure if you guys have any other questions or not. feel free to ask away. If not, appreciate the time. We'll get back into the Discord. We can go from there. Yeah, no problem, Will. All right, I'm not seeing any questions, so appreciate the time, everyone. We'll try and do something midday, see how conditions improve or not. But right now, market trim on a, isolating just, intraday action looks pretty good so far. SPX, continuing to push higher. 67.23 is where we're at right now. We were saying in the pre-market, want to make sure that we're staying above 67.10. Keep in mind we're just in a bit of a vacuum here until we get over 40. So yeah, Peter, I don't know what you mean by SPX greets. We've gone over SPX today. I didn't hit on the net stat chart. We can do that real quick. Sorry, this is a summary of our 3D surface models. Obviously to the upside, 6750, key level across all the greets, right? You can think of that as a large peak on the right-hand side if you're familiar with 3D surface models. To the downside, 6700 is going to be that first key strike to the downside, kind of that first peak. Charm, headwind right now until we get above 6750. Yeah, really all that, looking at Vanna's potential to be a fuel to the upside today, but we need to see a decrease in volatility. Call speculation coming in, right? We can measure that call speculation coming in through our vol-in command. Right now, very flat, so not really seeing that call speculation come in. We want to see this continue to progress higher and go from there. So, yeah, right now we have a flat top, so I'm not expecting like SPX to go much higher unless we can get a ramp in that call speculation coming in and helping to progress us higher. So just keep that in mind. So with that, now I'm done. Y'all have a good day. We'll see you. Talk later. Thanks. Bye.